What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Unscripted Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Eduardo, and I'm here with my co-host, I think, Edward. Is that you? Is that my co-host, Edward? Are you there? I see a bag over your head. Says hashtag here we go. Looks like a sad face. I see eyes.
Could be
Uh,
your co-host. It could be a very upset fan of a certain team in Pennsylvania that's not the Eagles.
uh-huh. Covering your face. He's trying to be like the Browns and the Jets. Covering your face.
Whoa, 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 whoa! You didn't have to bring the Browns into this.
But
The
they
wounds are
they
still the wounds are still fresh.
Um, yeah, man. Well, I mean, we'll get to that. I mean, I don't know if you want to do the whole episode with your a bag over your head, but yeah. Wild card weekend, super wild card weekend just ended with obviously the Steelers um losing to the Texans, but we'll get to that. Besides that, what is your takeaway from wild card weekend?
We had a very, very, very crazy. Like I said, the wounds are still fresh. I'm trying to see what I can do with how I can describe this weekend when we see some teams just stay on the rise and some teams just stay the freaking same.
Yeah. A wild card weekend, it was great. I mean, besides the last two games, obviously it's
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
little it's a little different for both of us, but I
yeah.
mean,
Your hands aren't clean in this one, Ed. Your hands
yeah,
aren't clean in this one.
yeah, but I mean, but in general, I think just both games were just kind of they weren't that great. I mean, both defensive games, but the rest of the games they were probably one of the best wild card weekends that I've seen. Uh, but yeah, let's just start out with the Saturday's game, Rams versus Panthers. Rams were favored by like 10, I think 10 and a half. Probably the biggest spread over the weekend. And man, the Panthers they gave them they gave the Rams a game.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I thought the Panthers really were gonna do it, but yeah, the Rams they were up 14-0 to start the half, and then not to start the half in the first quarter, and then I think there's a reception that there's a turnover, and then Bryce Young takes it himself. That's in the 14-14.
yeah. I mean, the Panthers they like I said they really stepped up. I mean, we got to give it up to the Panthers. I mean, the last game of the season they lost against the Bucks, so they got in by the Falcons. Um, but Dave Canales, he really changed that organization. Obviously, the year before that, they were selling tickets for what? $1? Um,
I think $1 or $2.
yeah, empty. The stadium was empty. Basically, they were just giving out the tickets for free. And in 1 year, they made their playoffs, and this was their first playoff appearance since that 2015 team, the Cam Newton.
Yes.
So, I mean, look, wasn't their best record, but they still made the playoffs, and they gave the Rams a run for their money. Eventually, like I said, the Rams won the game. Matt Stafford wasn't his
Yeah,
best game, but
I know.
hey,
Yeah, even though they got eliminated, I think we now can look at this Panthers team as they showed signs last year, even with the Bryce Young benching. But now I think this Panthers team, they're probably maybe one or two key moves away from actually being a team on the up in the NFL, like actually being looking like contenders because they kind of got into the playoffs because of their division. I think they lost their last game in the regular season, needs help, but they were still competitive down that stretch.
yeah. Like I said, Matt Stafford didn't have his best game, 24 42, 304 yards, three touchdowns, one interception. Uh, man, Puka. I mean, Puka just shows that he's just a beast, one of the best receivers in the league. 10 catches, 111 yards, one
He,
TD.
he wants to let the public know he lifts weights, not anything else, but not anything. I think he wants. I don't think he wants to be known for other things, but we don't need to
Yeah.
get into all that.
But man, Puka's a dog. Devontae, you obviously this was one of his first games back. I think he could have came back
Mm-hmm.
last game, but you kind of saw that he was just a little rusty. I mean, he had five catches, 72 yards, but it wasn't the Devontae that we normally see. Um, but expect them in the next game. They play the Bears. Yeah, they play the Bears next. So we'll see. We should see Devontae.
Yeah, but that I think that game. Yeah, that game will be in Chicago, correct?
Yeah, and Devontae knows the Bears, Chicago, that whole rivalry when he was in the Packers. So we'll see. But yeah, man, the Rams, they won a close one in this game. Um, but yeah, that started our wild card weekend. Um, and then it's Saturday night and it
Speak,
ended with
Speaking
yeah,
of the Bears, yeah, let's get into that one.
yeah, man, this game was insane, crazy. Packers were up what 21-3 at halftime? Yeah, 21-3 at the
Yeah,
halftime.
21-3 at halftime. So in the case of, like I said, I mean, I kind of talked about it last week on maybe last week's episode, talking about like the historical rivalry between the Packers and the Bears. But now, I think now this rivalry's been somewhat rebirthed for like maybe like this new generation, kind of like because these are like probably one of the two oldest teams in the league. But I think like
Mhm.
the rivalry's been rebirthed for a new generation with these head coaches who I guess you could say maybe have like a little bit of a history.
Yeah, they have a little history. What what they did in Chicago, it's crazy. Like that organization, obviously, it has this history, and they really changed it. Caleb Williams really balled out in this game, especially in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
And that one throw, just like
You're talking about the throw to Roma Dunze on the
yeah, the
fourth down
Ronan
and
Duze,
three.
yeah, yeah,
That was
that
just
one,
that throw was just straight money.
and
And
you can
yeah, honestly, like moments like that, now you're starting to see why Caleb Williams was taken with the first overall pick. And he's always had that arm talent, and it's like, yeah, even going back to USC, he's always had that arm talent. But now, I think now at this moment we can actually start looking at Caleb Williams as star in the making in the NFL.
yeah, I mean, what Ben Johnson has done in that 1 year with this team, and there was going to be there was a lot of questions whether Kalen Williams and him were going to get along. It didn't look good in the beginning, but now you can kind of see like that Ben Johnson, like the way the team is, you kind of see his
His you say like his personality or like his presence has really like changed the entire culture from what the Bears used to be.
yeah, and you can even I'm trying to remember what the camera kind of got Kalen Williams kind of yelling and screaming. I forgot what happened there. He was
I
just
think it was just all
frustrated.
about like it was more like he was frustrated with mistakes, but I think he was also trying to like encourage the group to really like stay together, is like stay focused that we can still rally around and win this game. And really what I've seen with the Chicago Bears teams that they keep on doing this. So honestly, you can kind of look at that. You can kind of look at them as like, why not them? Like to even you can't count them out even as these playoffs continues. You really cannot count them out
Yeah, I mean.
because like in that game, that previous game against the Packers, you kind of see like I said, it started with like Ben Johnson's effect is kind of taking a trip down effect to the offense, to the defense, and the special team to like recover that onside kick. But
Mhm.
normally when you're up 21-3, you probably start mailing in, but that team just did not quit, and that's just been like their entire DNA.
Yeah, I mean, Colston Loveland has really stepped up. The rookie tight end, eight catch for 137 yards. Um, he's been great for them, DJ Moore. But now the other side, the Packers. What happened to
Yeah,
them?
yeah, I could have led this in saying, was this a Bears comeback or was this just a Packers collapse? Because they were ultimately in control the whole game, and then even as a Packers fan, you're just looking like what the hell
Yeah, I mean Jordan Love had a great game. He
happened?
had a great game. 24-46, 332 yards, 4 touchdowns, zero
But let me just
interceptions.
say, but let me just also say this, that you remember the Packers, they were the seventh seed and they kind of were limping into the playoffs.
Yeah,
And what we can kind of take away from this game also is that you kind of can't see Micah's presence was missed, especially for Caleb Williams in that fourth quarter, because not only was his arm not only was his arm kind of like getting the job done, his escapability was also a factor. And I know the reason the Cowboys probably traded Micah because apparently he couldn't stop
can't
the
stop
run,
the run.
but he's still widely known as like one of the best pass rushers in the league. And
Yeah.
obviously with Caleb's escapability.
His presence was definitely missed on that
Mm-hmm.
the Packers defense. But Roman Dunze, I mean, yeah, Roman no, Roman Dobbs had himself a game, and surprise, surprise, Matthew Golden stepped up in this game too. He didn't do anything all season. He was their first round draft pick this year.
Mm-hmm.
But he made some big plays. Four catch for 84 yards, one touchdown. Um, but him and Roman Dobbs, they really balled out and just wasn't enough. The run game didn't really get going. Josh Jacobs only 55 yards. Um, but there's just a lot of questions with the Packers. Um, what happens next? I think supposedly they're trying to get Malafor in extension, but I guess they're just in talks. We'll see what happens with them. But like you said, the rivalry it's there now with obviously with Ben Johnson. You can see in the locker room he was celebrating, and in the locker room they catch him saying "fuck the pack." Um,
I mean, it's funny because I still remember that clip from Ross St. Brown's podcast talking about like I guess he was kind of like addressing the rumors of if Ben Johnson would be a head coach, and he kept saying
mhm.
like I think from what he saw, like Ben's not like that, but Ben's showing he is like that. And I guess from his vantage point, he's probably seen as like I just know him as a coordinator. Like I don't see him as like a coach, like a guy leading the troops. But
Yeah,
Ben Johnson keeps showing improvement, and those guys keep buying in.
yeah. I mean,
And yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. I mean, like you said, the the players have bought in, and then just I mean, it's kind of good to see like Chicago, like the whole fan base and everybody like just with the team, and it just see them just so happy. It's been years since they've been that good. Obviously, it's a historic franchise, and it kind of like I said, it kind of like even when I like during like midseason, it kind of reminded me of the Commanders last season.
Hmm.
How the whole
That's like the
city,
per
the
that's
whole
like the
city,
perfect comparison for them.
yeah, the whole city is around them and is supporting them, and it just like that win was just was incredible. Obviously, you see Caleb Williams with that little cheese head grater and doing his doing all that. But yeah, I mean they can get to the NFC Championship. They play against the Rams. The Rams got to go to Chicago. It's gonna be cold. I think it's supposed to be like zero wind chill. It's gonna be very cold. It's gonna be a Chicago game. Um, Obviously LA West Coast team. I don't know about the cold. They're used to the cold, but
I mean, that is the same team that kind of gave the Eagles the run for their money last season, the
yeah,
postseason. But
yeah,
so I don't think the cold's going to bother them, but we shall see.
yeah. We shall see. Next, man, let's talk about the Bills and Jaguars. This game was crazy. Josh Allen, this is his perfect chance to try to make it to a Super Bowl with no Mahomes,
This
no
whole
Lamar.
postseason, we're looking at Josh Allen as like take advantage of like the moment now because yeah, no Lamar, no Mahomes, no the third quarterback that's in that group that I think people. No
Yeah.
Burrow. That's the quarterback I was missing.
Yeah, but I mean,
Like
obviously
he's that
Mahomes, no
one
Mahomes.
quarterback in like those tiers. It's like we're looking at you as like a guy who like potentially get it done now. Just take advantage of like this opportunity.
Yeah, and then on the other side, Jacksonville, the incredible season that they've had. Liam Cohen, like I said, in 1 year, changed the whole organization. This defense has been phenomenal. There was the home game for them. Man, Josh Allen took over this game. Josh Allen had to take over this game in order for the Bills to win this.
And he
Um,
kind of and he willed himself because as you can see throughout the game, he was getting beat up, but still, he still
he had his
he still fought and fought and fought.
ankle injury. What else? His finger, right? He got messed up as one of his
Yeah,
fingers. His fingers, and he was already dealing with he had like three injuries in that game, if I'm not mistaken. And he was already dealing with something, I guess.
yeah, the
Um,
foot injury.
yeah, the
Then
foot,
a foot. Then it became an ankle, and then
the finger.
yeah, the finger. And then I think like he almost had a concussion, but it's still safe to go.
Yeah, I mean he willed himself this game. The Jags did an incredible job stopping the run with James Cook. Uh, but I mean it Shakir had himself a game. Brandon Cooks, free agent, anybody could have got him. Really stepped up for the Bills. 58 yards on three catches. Um, Dawson Knox Kincaid made some big plays, but I mean Josh Allen was really the reason why the Bills and the
Yeah,
defense, the
like
defense too.
they stepped up when they needed to step up because the Jags were still making it a game and still responding. Because up until like the fourth quarter, Parker Washington kind of had a slow game. Then he started picking it up, and the Jags kept marching down the field. And I think he knew the Bills. I mean, they still had an opportunity. The Jaguars still had an opportunity to make it a game. I mean,
Hmm.
still even try to send the game in overtime, but even on that last Josh Allen touchdown, obviously there's really nothing you can do. So I believe they tried to let him score on that last drive, but
Yeah, no mas.
mhm.
Yeah, I mean, and that was the thing. Let's say the Bills scored and then the Jazz go off to tie the game, or was it, yeah, to go tie the game, they would have been
Yeah,
like,
that's what
well,
the
they could have been, well, like, well, why'd you score so early? Knowing that Jacksonville has a kicker little who
yeah
the
yeah
longest
that's
kick
what
was
they're
68 yards.
yeah that's what they're attempting to do to try to get the game to overtime. But like I said, they kept marching, but it was a gutsy effort. It was just very unfortunate Trevor Lawrence threw that pick.
Yeah, I mean, he had a game 18 for 30, 207 yards, three touchdowns. Like I said, Parker Washington, what a season he's had. Seven catches for 107 yards, a TD. Travis Etienne, he had that touchdown to, was it to lead the game or to tie? I think they were leading at
Uh,
that moment. The Travis Etienne.
yeah, they cut it to one possession off that game, off
Yeah.
that touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean the Jags had an incredible season. Like that reporter said, like put your heads up. Like,
Yeah, there's still plenty to keep an eye on in Duval.
yeah, but this was a must win for Buffalo and Josh Allen, because if it's not now, then when will it be? When obviously Mahomes will come back. Who knows what happens with Baltimore and Lamar, and then Burrow. Let's see what happens. This was their best chance, and Josh Allen really stepped up, and they got to.
They got a very interesting date with the Broncos. I believe that's on a Saturday.
Yeah, we'll get to those matchups later. But I like the Bills' chances. Let's move on to San Francisco versus the Eagles. These two teams have history. These two teams like do not like each other.
I wouldn't say
Um,
spoiler alert, but think I guess if you look at their offense, I guess you can kind of tell that we will now have a new defending champion for we'll have a new champion for this NFL season. The Eagles are going to Cancun.
yeah, the Philadelphia Eagles are officially eliminated. Um, the 49ers beat them. And the 49ers, they had to get the revenge back from that. Was it the NFC Championship?
Yeah, I think it was the NFC Championship.
Brock Purdy's rookie year, right? And
Yeah, I think so. Where we got injured and he got injured,
yeah,
and then the league kind of initiated that third quarterback rule.
yeah, yeah. But man, they let's start out with the Eagles. This whole season has been like a lot of noise, and they still got managed to win some games. The offense
I
have
mean the I
the
mean the
offense.
noise is common, but the offense, even going back to the first week of the game, you just knew something was up with this offense, but they just kept winning games. But this loss definitely magnified things times 10 with that offense.
Yeah, and AJ Brown all season he was complaining about the offense and everything like that, and you can kind of see it that he was
And
kind of
everybody's,
right.
yeah, he was right, but everybody's also still, the thing with AJ Brown's like, yeah, you can be like, you can talk about all that stuff, but I think also the whole focal point about him is now he dropped those crucial passes, and after the game, he did not speak to the media. So
He left, right? I think he left the locker room, right? He just left. And
I
honestly,
heard, I heard he hugged his teammates and just left.
I think this is the last he's seen AJ Brown in the Eagles uniform. I think it's time for him to go. I'm sure the Eagles want him to leave, and he wants to leave. And I think it's just best for both parties to
If I'm
just
not, if I'm
go
not
to separate.
mistaken, I think he might have maybe. I know he got the extension after they won their last Super Bowl. I think
Hmm.
not the one from last year. I think the last Super Bowl they went to when the Chiefs beat them. But if I'm not mistaken, I think his deal's up, so he could be a very expendable asset. I
There's a
know,
there's
I know the whole notion is that maybe he wants to reunite with his coach from Tennessee, Briggs, and go to New England. We'll we'll keep an eye on that notification around March.
Yeah, but yeah, Kevin Patullo.
It's I honestly think Eagles fans will probably have a celebration more more greater than they did when they won the Super Bowl on Bourbon Street when they finally find out. I'm sure the organization will announce it as a parting of the ways, but I think Eagles fans are finally going to get what they want.
Yeah, I mean the offense just didn't look. It just looks so bad over
It's
these
like they
past.
got away from like what really made them. Then you didn't really see a lot of the. You saw the tush push when it was like just trying to get like some yardage, but like it never it never manifests into actually like scoring points, and that's kind of what I feel like that's kind of what the team wanted. I think you can kind of tell. I haven't been keeping up with it. I know I should. I haven't been really keeping up with the Hard Knocks in season, but there was one clip that kind of went viral. Jalen's in a meeting, kind of like with the offense. I think in like that whole clip, you can kind of tell. I think Jalen. I think people are speculating like Jalen just has like a cold. It's kind of like an awkward interaction, like when they're going over the offense, and even like during the game. I think Jalen gets a call, and he was like asking. He was like talking to like bewildered, like that's the call that you want to run for this play, and fans can see like the offense is just bad. I think Jalen just he's doing his job, but I think he
He
won't
always says
say, but
he says the right things. Saquon won't say anything. You
mhm.
know, Jalen won't say anything. AJ Brown will definitely say will say something how he feels. Um,
But just like there was just a whole disconnect in like with that offense, and
they stepped away from what they were and what they got what won them the Super Bowl was running the ball and
I mean, yeah, you could say Lane Johnson was out too, so like their offensive line also like that also kind of does affect the offensive line, which was considered historic from last year.
yeah.
But I knew something was up. Obviously, I probably should have factored this in when I was gambling, but I knew something was up when like Dallas Goedert was kind of the red zone threat. They got away from the run game. Jalen wasn't using his legs as much. Just like that whole team just lost their identity from what they were last year.
Yeah. And now let's go to the other side, the 49ers. Shanahan, the amazing job he has done with
I
this
don't think
team.
he'll win Coach of the Year, but hats off to Kyle Shanahan for just being able to do so much more with so much less, and even losing their top tight end George Kittle in the process.
Yeah, and then obviously most of they lost Brock Purdy for a while in the beginning of the season. Mac Jones came in, won some games. Obviously they lost Fred Warner. Um, they didn't have Brandon Ayuk, their number one wide receiver, all year long, and still managed to fight for the first place in the NFC. And obviously they lost it. They lost a game against Seattle. But man, 13 wins, incredible job with what he has done, and Salah with the defense with a lot of
Yeah,
injuries.
him coming back. I think that's definitely galvanized the defense because like I think it's just like it's a scheme they're more familiar with, and it's also just like a voice that they're used to. I think that
Mhm.
also is kind of like helps them buy in also. But yeah, this team, yeah, just hats off to the entire coaching staff, just how the whole organization's ran. That definitely has an effect on how that really just had an effect on their season. And like I said, it sucks losing George Kittle in the process,
Mhm.
but I think we all need to aspire. We should all aspire to have the level of optimism George Kittle just has to go about
Yeah,
life.
yeah. I mean,
But I
he. What did he do? He supposedly
mean,
what?
allegedly there was a story. He came. I mean, I guess he came. He knew his fate, but I guess the owner sent down like a bottle of tequila from the suite, and apparently in the locker room they heard that that bottle of tequila was very empty afterwards.
Yeah.
But
Uh.
even college Juszczyk was interviewed. And he said that I think he even like Jordan told him like it could be worse, like not dead, but
Yeah.
like I said, George Kittle, he's just unrelentingly positive. Always has great, always just a great guy, great optimism, and yeah, even in adversity, he'll still smile through it and just he's gonna attack that rehab, and
Yeah. I
obviously
mean,
he's
he.
probably not gonna play next year, but
Yeah. I
he's
mean,
gonna
he.
work his
He.
butt off to get himself back.
Yeah. He's a big key player for that team. But other players really stepped up. Like I say, Juszczyk really stepped up. With George Kittle not being there, he had 4 catch, 49 yards. Demarcus Robinson. I haven't heard that
Yeah,
name
that
in a mile.
I think that I think that was the biggest shock for like even the whole opening drive.
Yeah, man. 6 catch for 111 yards, 1 TD. And Christian McCaffrey's always gonna do what he's got to do, and you know that he's gonna get the ball, 2 touchdowns, 2 receiving touchdowns. Um, and then that one, Jawan Jennings, that
Former
play,
quarterback Juwan Jennings.
yeah, that play. I think this is his second touchdown
Yeah, he threw
in the
that one
playoffs.
at Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean that play is always gonna be there, but McCaffrey really stepped up. Brock Purdy, 18 for 31, 262, two touchdowns, 1 interception. Um, but yeah, man, these Niners, they they're a really good team. Like I said, with they're doing Kyle Shanahan has done with this team with less and all the injuries. Obviously, Trent Williams was out. Ricky Pearsall wasn't there. Um, obviously Brandon Ayuk was not there.
Ricky
Fred
Beard,
Warner,
Ricky
Fred
Pearsall
War
could still come back.
yeah,
I still think like he's still nursing a knee injury. I don't know like what his status is. Maybe there's some precautionary reasons, but if he gets back, that could be big for them moving
yeah,
forward.
yeah. Fred Warner, maybe he'll come back for the NFC Championship. That's what they're saying. We'll see. I see videos of him training. Uh, but yeah, I mean. Hats off to the Niners, Kyle Shanahan, and that organization. They really stepped up. And the other side, I don't know, man. Eagles fans. I mean, it's gonna be a long off season for them. Um, but yeah, they are eliminated. They are out. They are out. Yeah, it's kind of good sometimes because they're just. I'm sorry, but some Philly
It's
fans
their
they
fan
just
base. It's their fan base, Ed.
it's their fan base it's their damn fan base. Talk so much. But let's move on to uh Sunday night game. Um, the
Yeah,
Chargers
you can take
versus
the floor on this one.
the Chargers versus the New England Patriots. Man, I think the last episode of the pod, I kind of was saying like I really like this matchup with the Chargers and the Patriots. I think they matched up really well, and obviously the Chargers were eliminated from the playoffs again.
Yeah, unfortunately, this game kind of underwhelmed from like the rest of the games to start out the playoffs. But
Yeah. Justin Herbert, another playoff loss in his record. He's 0-3 in the playoffs. Um,
obviously, this game you can't put all the blame on him. But like you said, he's 0-3 in the postseason, and now
it's a lot of
obviously
noise.
that noise is gonna follow him going into the next season. Unfortunately,
I mean, look, the you can say a lot of excuses for a lot of teams. Like I said, the Bills, they have a lot of injuries. The Niners would see what they've done and they won. The Chargers all season long, both their starting offensive line got hurt. Slater, Joel, um, Hampton was injured. Um, and then they tried it. He came back, tested out for like two drives and basically shut him down after that. Justin Herbert with his injuries and then his finger with the finger and everything, and then just being sacked so many times and just pressures and just been. You can say a lot of excuses, but I think they event. I've look. I think I haven't lost faith in Justin Herbert. I still think he's a really really good quarterback. He's for sure one of the best
yeah,
quarterbacks.
no,
And
yeah,
and,
no
and,
one,
and
yeah, no one's discounting his toughness.
yeah,
See,
no, but I think it's just him trying to get it done. I think eventually he will get it done. Um, But like I said, he just got something's got to happen. Something got to change because, like I said, the defense, the Chargers defense, they kept them in this game. Like they kept themselves in this game because if not, then like the Patriots probably would have won this game by a little bit more points. But the defense really really stepped up. There was twice they were on the red zone and they could not convert.
yeah, that's
And it
very yeah. What I was saying was like really uncharacteristic from Keenan Allen. Like I always thought he was always Mr. Reliable, right?
third and Allen, yeah, he was always reliable, especially on third down, but it's just the offense was awful. No
And
creativity and
Glad
credit to
McConkey was a no show.
yeah,
I don't
look,
know why they didn't even go to him like throughout the
look,
game.
credit to the Patriots defense because they locked the wide receivers really, really well. They locked them up because Justin Herbert, as much as he was pressured throughout this whole season, he had time this game. There was moments where he
Mhm.
had time. He had time. Yes, they did sack him towards he got sacked 6 times, but for the most part, he was pretty good to in the pocket. He wasn't pressured as much, but I mean, and I think once Christian Gonzalez got out, you kind of see that the offense was kind of he was throwing the ball a little bit more. Quinn Johnson was getting the ball, but I mean, it just I think it's just the lack of creativity, the lack of on the offense, and obviously Greg Roman is the corner, and there's going to be a lot of questions with him whether he's going to stay or not. Um, it's just when you have Justin Herbert, 19 for 31, 159 yards. I think at what by the fourth, by the beginning of the fourth quarter, I think he had like 95 yards or something like that. And it's just it was bad. It was bad. I think I lost faith once the Patriots when Hunter Henry scored the touchdown. They're just like, yeah, like I just didn't see the offense like not doing anything, and I just like knew at that moment it would just yeah, it's over. Just the defense did
And
so much. The defense
yeah,
did so much.
the defense did their job, but it's also like how could you let Drake May like bust off like that? I don't know
Yeah, that
how
50, I
long.
think it was like 59 yards or something like that.
Yeah,
And look, like I said, credit to the Patriots. Like I said, both defense were an amazing job. Um, but Drake May, he stepped up when he needed to. Obviously, the interception, but he bounced back. Obviously, he used his legs. 10 carries for 66 yards, 17 for 29, 268 yards. That touchdown to Hunter Henry. Um, But yeah, I
Part of
mean
me,
they
yeah, part of me, I'm not. I don't think I'm really like gonna have to say this, but part of me is starting to might think the evil empire might be back. I
look.
think that that Patriots dynasty had a little bit of a lull period, but once Braves came back in that building, they just started moving, different things change, and I think they go there. Like I said, there's still plenty of postseason left, but I think they're finally figuring out their old ways.
Yeah, I think the Patriots are back. I think the Patriots back, and Drake May has done little with less. Obviously, look, they have Hunter Henry, ex-Charger, he scored. Stephon Diggs wasn't as he wasn't really needed in this game, and I think they said the defense really stepped up. Two catch for 16 yards.
I don't
Um,
know that. I still don't know who the hell Afton Chisholm is.
yeah, I don't know who Chisholm is. Yeah, there's just a lot of unknown people that I mean, Austin Hooper, I know that name. Um, but yeah, I mean, Mike Vrabel really changed this organization, and um, they're special, and they're gonna be here for the long run. And like I said, they're back. Um, but yeah, man, it's unfortunate for the Chargers. It's unfortunate for Justin Herbert because he started out the season with basically an MVP season, and like I said, I think it's just gonna be a lot of noise with him throughout for next season. Can he get it done? Obviously, he balls out in the regular season, but when it comes to the postseason, he just hasn't gotten the job done. And but like I said, I believe in Justin Herbert. I still think that with the healthy offensive line, um, they probably would have done a little bit more better. But come on, like he's had a rough season. Like getting sacked so many times, getting pressure, and towards the end of the game, you kind of see that last tackle that he just kind of just like
Yeah,
lays down
yeah.
the.
Like the last tackle, like the two defenders kind of like got him. Like, yeah. Honestly, I kind of knew it was over from then. But I really thought, I was there that. I really thought I thought Herbert was going to get taken out the game.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. But I mean, we'll see what happens. But hats off to the Patriots in this game. Now they got a home game, another home game, and they will take on the Houston Texans. Um, I know I'm gonna have you talk about this. The Houston Texans beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh, 30-6. Now, the score does not like reflect on what happened in this game because this game was very low scoring, very low scoring until the fourth quarter. Uh, but yeah, the floor is for
Look,
you.
yes, I know what Houston's defense was. I understand. In the first half, I'm pretty sure the Steelers also understood what their defense was. I knew Aaron was getting the ball out quick, but when the after the second half, the defense started making plays, and our defense, the Steelers defense, they were getting some takeaways. They were frustrating to get Stroud, but
Yeah, CJ Stroud was frustrated in this game. A lot of miscommunications, like three fumbles, right? Snap fumbles. Like
yeah, I think three fumbles, and he threw a pick in the red zone. And what's
with three
frustrating is that
with three turnovers, you should win the game.
yeah, usually that's the recipe for winning the turnover margin. That's usually the recipe for a win. But I've talked about it in the past with the Steelers. If the defense is showing up, sometimes it's not. If the defense is showing up, that's good. But then the offense won't show up, and that's clearly what happened today because the final score ended up being 30-6.
But it does
We
not
didn't even
it
the
didn't
Steelers didn't
reflect.
even
Yeah,
sniff the end zone this entire game. I
and
knew it was going to
they
be I knew it was going to be a cagey affair, but and honestly, once that fourth quarter started going, the defense just started making the Texans defense started making plays. Yep, that's when
yeah, the O
the
line did
darkness
not.
came in. The darkness came in. We kind of came back to reality.
Yeah, I mean the O line did not protect Aaron Rodgers as much, and there wasn't that many. I don't know. The offense wasn't really.
there were times I felt obviously since he's coming back from the suspension, I think there were times DK was a little antsy. That was just maybe rust from just not being with the team for the last 2 weeks.
Hmm.
But maybe maybe there is a well now we know that 25% of the league's looking for head coaches. So now maybe Arthur Smith has made himself a candidate for a coaching job. You never know.
With this offense, would he put out?
His offense is now using tight ends, so I'm just saying that maybe Arthur Smith should entertain. If any team calls him, maybe he should entertain. He should entertain the thought of some vacancies because, as we just saw from the last few minutes ago, maybe he'll have a lot of time to entertain some ideas.
Hmm. But now the question is, does Aaron Rodgers stay or does he retire? Because the last throw he's ever thrown was a pick six. And
Whenever you heard my, whenever you heard my ESPN notification, I know some players still probably talking to the media right now.
uh,
In typical Aaron Rodgers fashion, I still think he's still kind of quiet about not giving full details about what his future will be moving forward. But
I think obviously, he's gonna take time to reflect. He's gonna probably hold it all the way through mini camp most likely. But honestly, I think the way that season went, I think you kind of saw Aaron Rodgers more happy and kind of got that love for football again, being in Pittsburgh. Um, I think the team really liked him and everything. They all got along, and I think he comes back for one more year because for that to be his last throw in the NFL, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is gonna go out like that. I think he's gonna give it one more go, and I think that's it. And I think he comes back one more year with the Steelers.
I mean, I'm just saying he's not under contract for next season. So,
It'll be another 1 year
but
deal, most likely.
yeah, but like we still don't know. So if this if this hypothetically could be it, I guess I'll thank him for his contributions to for what he did for the team.
Hmm.
Thank him for what he's done for the National Football League for the last 20 years. But as as you can see from this will be a very very long off season for us. I truly towards the stretch of the season,
Now,
I fell into that trap of thinking things are going to be different. We might have a chance, but like I said, we came back down, crashing to reality, and some things just don't change.
now, what needs to happen, in order for this thing to change? Because it's been what, 10 years since you guys won a playoff game? 9 to 10 years?
This playoff game, I believe, was in 2017.
2017, yeah. But what do you think needs to happen in order
I
for
think I
to get
think
over or get
anybody,
over this?
well, one, I think anybody with eyes and brain knows we need a freaking quarterback. I'm still I'm gonna gaslight and maybe delude myself, still believing that Will Howard's our future. I still don't
Mhm.
know what this team will do in the draft. We probably still need more skill position guys on offense, maybe another receiver as
I
well.
I think for sure another receiver. Um,
Also, like the frustrating thing too is that we do have a very useful skill position player in Pat Frymuth, but
wasn't
like I
really using
said,
this game.
I think Artie Smith kind of just mismanaged like how we use him. Like he got an extension in the off season, and I just don't know why he hasn't been utilized in the offense. He is a tight end, but he can still kind of like work as a wide receiver in this offense if you just utilize him right. But I think Artie wanted to run the ball more. It's just
honestly, the way this offense, it just didn't work out for the team that they had. Um, and even if you heard, if people heard the Manning cast, you kind of see Ben Roethlisberger was kind of saying like they should start. I don't. He didn't know why they weren't using Freiermuth. Freiermuth needs to be more using the offense. He said it kind of reminded him as Heath Miller. And for those who know Heath Miller, he was a baller. Um,
Mhm.
and Freiermuth is a baller, and I feel like they should have used him more. Um,
I still remember Ben would always use him as a big red zone threat.
yeah.
That's where the Heath Miller comparison comes from.
And I think they also like, I mean, obviously you're going against the Texas defense, so Jalen Warren and the game and weren't really couldn't really get that much going. Um,
Their defense, they definitely honed it and took kept
yeah, and they're legit. Like you said, DK 2 catch 42 yards. It looked promising in the beginning, but then obviously the defense really stepped up. MVS 3 catch 28 yards. Adam Thielen he made that catch, but it just wasn't
already
enough.
he's already decided to retire. He's done.
Yeah, Calvin Austin, where was he? 3 catch for 8 yards. It just I feel like you just guys needed more offensive power, and I feel like you guys definitely need to sign somebody or obviously in the draft. But yes,
I mean,
quarterback is needed. I don't know if it's what Howard or do you guys get somebody free agency
I
in the
mean the la
draft?
I know the last few weeks, obviously there was something that kind of happened in the middle of the season, middle towards the late of the season that got loud. 1,000% expect Mike Tomlin to be back next season. I'd be truly shocked if he's fired. You know what happened to the other coach in our former coach in our division that got fired. So I'd be shocked if Mike Tomlin finds the same fate. But
Do you give it one more year? Because
as a Steeler, as a
I
Steeler
can't.
fan, I'll just say this: I think the clock's ticking.
I honestly I think next year if it's still the same result, I think it's just time to move on. And like the Ravens did, it was just time to move on. It just change of scenery, change of new ideas and stuff. And I feel like not to take away anything from Mike Tomlin, he's an amazing coach. He's a great coach. It just maybe it's not working anymore, and they both just need to part their ways. And and I feel like that's what might happen next year. Last season, if it's the same thing, 9 or 10 wins and first round exit, I think that's it. That I think that's it for Mike Tomlin and with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think it's the only way for the Steelers to get better. Like you said, they need a quarterback. We'll see if it's in the draft. They're like 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 people say, they're they're too good to not tank or to not even be that to get a like one of those top 5 draft picks, and then they're not. They're just right. They're right there, and they can't get one of those top 5 draft picks. So you guys can't draft a
It's
top.
it's just going to be a very interesting yet long off season for us.
And remember the draft is in Pittsburgh this year, so
Maybe that's
they're gonna have to make
another
some
reason why I
noise.
probably want to keep this. Yeah, it's probably another reason I want to keep this back in my head.
Yeah, because they're gonna have to make some noise in the draft. I mean, the con artist, right? He's gonna have to make some moves this off season. And you guys do have a first round pick this year, or was it?
I think we'll still have a first round pick, but
I mean, what quarterback is available? What quarterback
uh,
in free agency? Kirk Cousins. Who else is out there? I mean, Malik Willis.
honestly, honestly, we should entertain that. Honestly, we really should because I remember, like I said, we took Kenny Pickett with that pick, but I think Mike Tomlin had. I think Mike Thomas still had interest in Malik Willis, and also if he doesn't get if he doesn't get a coaching job, Arthur Smith's offense is an offense he is familiar with going back to see. So I think I'm at as a Steeler fan. I think I'm at the point where just like I think I'm kind of getting used to the fact of just going into the off season, not knowing what the quarterback situation is, but
I mean,
maybe what I've learned from these experiences, like maybe initially you'll still have some skepticism, and then regular season we'll see what it can turn out to be. But yeah, that's starting to become
it's the norm
standard.
now. Yeah, that's the standard is the standard now. I guess 10 wins and 9 to 10 wins and a first round exit. Uh
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like from the
oh,
quarterback
oh the
aspect. But
yeah, but we'll see.
it
I guess
gets
it's gonna
fr-
be
it gets frustrating. But
well, it's gonna be a long off season for you guys, and then we're just gonna have to wait till what Aaron Rodgers says, and that's gonna drag out until April, March or April. Um, but yeah, man, it's a that was the wild card, and now let's get to the picks. Our picks for the divisional round. We got the Bills and Broncos to start out Saturday. I don't even know what the odds are in this game. Let me just check right now. Let me just check what the odds are. I think they just came out. I think the Bills are favored in this game, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check. Let's see this thing. What the heck is it? Yeah, okay, so the Bills are not favored. The Bills are plus 1.5 in this game. I think the Bills win this game. I think Josh Allen wins it. The way the defense has been playing, I think Bo Nix, I think he's gonna have a tough
let's
time with
see.
this defense. And the
Yeah,
Broncos, they don't start out the game well, and they don't pick it up until the fourth quarter. And I think it'll be too late for them to win this game. And I think the Bills go the mile high and beat the Broncos. And Josh Allen gets it done. He gets to the AFC Championship.
pick the Bills. I can see this being maybe probably not a high scoring game, but it can probably be pretty close.
The over
Maybe like a
under,
20, maybe 27, 24, something like that.
yeah, because the over under is 46.5. So you
Bills
got the
winning cover.
yeah. All right, let's move on to the Niners Seahawks. This is their third matchup. Um, the Seahawks are favored. It's minus 7.5. That's a lot of points. I think the Seahawks will win this game, but I think the Niners cover. And I think Sam Darnold is gonna ball out. I think this is the year that Sam Darnold
I take
gonna
the I'll take the Seahawks.
to the Seahawks. Um, Texans versus the Patriots. This might be a low scoring game, maybe too. The over under is 41.5. We saw what the Patriots did against that Chargers defense. And the Texans, their defense is great, and they're not really put up many points. I'm taking the Houston Texans. They're +3 in this game. I'm taking them to win this game in a very low scoring
Now,
game.
I know what the Texans defense is because we're still talking about the Texans. I know what the Texans defense is, but there is a chance I could see Drake May kind of putting the Superman cape on, having some heroics. I'll take the Patriots.
All right. And the last game, Rams versus Chicago Bears. They're at home. This
Ooh,
one's to go to
that's
the NFC Championship. The Rams are favored -3.5. Who do you got in this game? Over under is 50.5.
Ooh,
Yeah, MVP Stafford, or you got Iceman Caleb Williams.
I can see the Bears maybe pulling off an upset, but think I think the Rams could probably eat one out. It could probably be a very, very, very close game.
Man, this game I want to say the Rams, and I think the do. I'm gonna go with the Bears. I think the Bears win this game. I think the game against the Packers, all the momentum is on their side.
Yeah,
The
they
stadium
do
is
have
gonna
the
go
home.
crazy,
Yeah, they do have the home field advantage.
and it's gonna be cold. So I think the Bears win this game and pull up the set. And they're going to the NFC Championship.
Yeah, I think that one might be the game. That might be the best game on the slate.
Yeah, well, it should be good. But yeah, man, that'll be it for the podcast. Any last words until next week?
I'll see you in Cancun.
All right, well, I'll meet you there too. All right, until then, bye, peace.
Here we go, Steelers.